said, Oprah, she says, you're blowing it. I said, what you mean? She says, you got an opportunity to do something great, walk into the history books, and you're blowing it, and I need to help you with it. I'm sorry what I need to do. So she took me to Quincy Jones's house. So having been introduced to Quincy and going to his house one time, it was just like, I sat there sort of like frozen.
So Rose McGowan has put Oprah on blast. Rose recently called out Oprah on Twitter over her past associations with some controversial men.
He was by Quincy Jones.
You'd assume Jamie Foxx, being a big name in the industry, would keep him tight-lipped about Hollywood's behind-the-scenes happenings. But nope, recent rumors suggest he's been on a roll, spilling some tea. Forget Quincy Jones as the gatekeeper of industry rituals. Foxx might be throwing another name into the mix. And guess what? The name in the mix is none other than OPR. And get this, she's not just above Jones in the ritual hierarchy. Rumors suggest she might have set up Foxx to be taken advantage of by Jones. It's pretty intense, right? Hate to be the spoiler, but brace yourself. This is just the beginning. So when we talk about OPR, everyone's like total icon, right? But truth be told, there's a whole side to her that's flying under the radar. Sure, she's been in a couple of policy debates, but there's this deeper, darker side to the controversies around the TV host. That's why Jamie's supposed bombshell revelation got social media in a frenzy, questioning how she could be linked to setting him up with Quincy Jones. Surprisingly, there's some real substance to that claim. So Jamie Foxx, the man with the Oscar, Grammy, and a bestseller memoir, he's been in the entertainment game for ages, right? Well, in a recent chat with Scott Evans from Access Hollywood, he spilled the beans. Picture this. 2005, Foxx is on cloud nine after rocking the role of Ray Charles and snagging that Academy Award for Best Actor. But here's the kicker. His celebration turned into an endless party. Who comes to the rescue? OPR Winfrey, randomly giving him a call to drop some advice and set him straight. Jamie Foxx, thinking OPR was just looking out for his best interests, finds out she had some sneaky plans up her sleeve. According to him, she straight up tells him, "You're blowing it," during one of their casual hangs. OPR is like, "Let's get real here," and decides to take him somewhere to make him realize the weight of what he's doing.
Listen, man, you're doing good, man. We just don't want you to blow it, baby. So we go in the house, and there's all these old actors, black actors from the 60s and the 70s.
So, where does she take him? None other than Quincy Jones' crib. Imagine this impromptu intervention scene she sets up at the home of the legendary record producer. Doing an uncanny impersonation of Jones, Foxx recalls the moment he was praised for his work on Ray, but criticized for everything else. OPR, with anticipation, asks if he's ready to meet the person she's brought for him. Surprise! It's Sidney Poitier. Poitier reminisces about seeing Foxx at a party, prompting Foxx's confirmation. Moved, Poitier admits that Foxx's performance made him grow artistically, comparing it to a 2-inch growth, and promises to share something meaningful with him. So, let me break it down. Foxx getting the heebie-jeebies from Jones might seem random, but trust me, it's a big deal. Now, if you're even a little into Hollywood vibes, you've got to know Quincy Jones. He's the real deal. We're talking legendary producer, musician, songwriter, the whole shebang. They even call him the Black Godfather of the industry, and for good reason. Quincy's track record is a who's who of the music scene: Frank Sinatra, Aretha Franklin, Rufus, and Chaka Khan, and the king himself, Michael Jackson. But why is he always making headlines? Well, it's not just the music magic. There's something about Quincy that's kept him in the spotlight for decades. There's always been this speculation about Quincy's sex preference, with some wild claims that he sort of nudged guys into gay relationships to boost their Hollywood game. I know, sounds scandalous, right? And the list of supposed flings linked to Quincy is like an endless scroll. But if we're talking about the juiciest bits, two names always take the spotlight in Quincy Jones's romantic saga. None other than Tupac and the Fresh Prince himself, Will Smith. Word on the street is that Quincy Jones might have pushed them into his own version of Hollywood sleepovers. It's this kind of murky connection with Quincy that apparently left a mark, with whispers that he was trying to, share his preferences. Now, flashback to this interview with Tupac, the guy spilled the beans, claiming Quincy popped the question about some, intimate backside matters. But here's where it gets wild. That interview? Poof! Gone from the entire internet. Like, vanished. Conspiracy or not, it takes some serious clout to wipe out a chat like that. And since Tupac's not around to give us the 411, Quincy seems to have pulled a Houdini on the whole situation, leaving us to connect the dots. Even Napoleon, when grilled about the supposed link between Tupac and Quincy, straight up shut it down in an interview. Dude denied the whole shebang and went into full-on defense mode for Jones. But you know how it goes. Some folks out there still have a memory like a steel trap, and they're holding on to every word Tupac spilled in that that interview, no matter how hard anyone tries to sweep it under the Hollywood rug. And this is not the first time Tupac expressed his frustration with Quincy about his nasty actions back in the day. Tupac didn't hold back on venting about a bunch of folks in an interview, and Quincy Jones was on the receiving end of some seriously bold remarks. Now, considering how tight Tupac and Quincy were during Tupac's career, there's speculation that Quincy might have tried pulling some moves on him, if you catch my drift. They were so chummy that Tupac was even thinking about ditching Death Row Records for Quincy's label before his untimely exit. Now, connect the dots. If Quincy made those moves on Tupac, can we really believe Jamie Foxx got a pass? Doubtful. That might be why Foxx decided to spill the tea on both Quincy and OPR. Now, here's where it gets wild. Questioning if Oprah had a hand in Quincy, taking a liking to Foxx might feel skeptical, but hold on. This ain't Oprah's first rodeo when it comes to being in the mix of some messy situations. Remember that British actress Katie Ann Noble? Well, she dropped a bomb claiming OPR was basically in cahoots with Harvey Weinstein's not-so-great exploits. According to Katie, she was wowed when she first met Weinstein at a London event, where he was chilling with supermodel Naomi Campbell. And to top it off, OPR was hanging off his arm like they were the ultimate trio. She spilled the beans in a teary press conference in Manhattan to discuss the SEXTFK lawsuit she filed a day earlier against Weinstein in Manhattan federal court, sharing how she initially thought Weinstein had something fantastic in store for her when she met him in London. Fast forward to Cannes in 2014, she innocently brings her showreel to his hotel room, thinking it's all business. But surprise, surprise, once inside, Weinstein doesn't give a hoot about her showreel. Instead, he starts getting touchy-feely while casually throwing in the idea of hooking her up with a modeling agency in London. Talk about a plot twist. Noble joins the lineup of actresses and models claiming Weinstein crossed the line, using promises of career boosts to get what he wanted. And this is someone Oprah's been rubbing shoulders with for years. All right, quick recap for those not in the loop. Harvey Weinstein, big shot American filmmaker, basically became the poster boy for the #Me Too movement. You know, that whole wave exposing SA. So rewind 5 years, and what had been the gossip in Hollywood's back alleys finally went public. News broke with these explosive articles, spilling the tea that Weinstein had been messing with and harassing loads of women for, like, forever. The guy wielded his power like a bully, strong-arming them into keeping quiet. Ronan Farrow spilled some major details in The New Yorker back in November 2017. Turns out Weinstein wasn't just sitting around twiddling his thumbs. He went all out and hired this British-Israeli detective squad called Black Cube to shut down those abuse allegations. Picture this: undercover agents with fake IDs, shady meetings with journalists and actresses like Rose McGowan, and a whole web of espionage to keep things under wraps. Weinstein apparently had Black Cube, Kroll, and a bunch of other agencies on speed dial, all working to dig up dirt on dozens of people, and even creating psychological profiles that deep into their personal, and yeah, you guessed it, histories. This guy reportedly tried pulling Woody Allen, Ronan's father, into his mess, hoping Allen would help shut down Ronan Farrow from exposing the claims of SA against him. Allen, though, decided to sit that one out and declined to get involved. But that's not all. Weinstein wasn't just twiddling his thumbs. He apparently roped in Black Cube again to put the squeeze on journalists Megan Tohey and Jodi Cantor, the ones digging into the allegations against him. According to Cantor, a Black Cube agent went undercover, posing as a women's rights advocate, trying to pull some manipulation magic. Cantor even went to Hillary Clinton for help, but it seems the politics of it all got tangled. In October 2017, the New York Times and the New Yorker reported that more than a dozen women accused Weinstein of SEX harassing, AS or R wording them. Many other women in the film industry subsequently reported similar experiences with Weinstein, who denied any non-consensual. As a result of these allegations, Weinstein was dismissed from his production company, suspended from the British Academy of Film and Television Arts, and expelled from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. He also resigned from the Directors Guild of America and was denounced by leading figures in politics whom he had supported. The Los Angeles Police Department opened a criminal investigation for alleged R, and New York and London police began investigating other SA allegations. On October 10, 2017, Weinstein's wife, Georgina Chapman, announced that she was leaving him. Their divorce was finalized in July 2021. Those bombshell ESSA claims against Weinstein didn't just fade away. Nope, they kicked off this whole national reckoning in the US, a tidal wave against harassment, that got dubbed the Weinstein effect. Combine that with some other harassment cases earlier in the year, and you've got a full-blown storm. Thanks to the Weinstein reports and the #MeToo movement exploding on social media, people started coming forward left and right, sharing their own stories of misconduct that had been tucked away. It wasn't just Hollywood feeling the heat. This avalanche of allegations reached across various industries. The result? Swift exits for many powerful dudes, not just in the US, but this thing spread like wildfire around the globe. The world suddenly felt like it was flipping the script on those who'd been abusing their power. In 2019, the documentary Untouchable was released with interviews from several of his accusers. The New York County District Attorney's Office charged Weinstein with R, Criminal Sex Act, SA, and misconduct for incidents involving 2 separate women on May 25, 2018. He was arrested the same day after surrendering to the New York City Police Department, NYPD, and released after a $1 million bail was posted on his behalf. He surrendered his passport and was required to wear an ankle monitor, with travel being restricted to New York and Connecticut. His lawyer, Benjamin Brafman, said Weinstein would plead not guilty. A trial date was set for January 6, 2020. On that date, Weinstein was also charged in Los Angeles with R, wording one woman and essaying another in 2013. On June 8, 2022, Weinstein was formally charged by the Metropolitan Police with 2 counts of indecent AA against a woman in London between July 31st and August 31st, 1996. After deliberating for 5 days, a jury convicted Weinstein on February 24, 2020, of 2 of 5 criminal charges, 1 count of criminal SA in the 1st degree and 1 count of R in the 3rd degree. The jury found him not guilty regarding predatory SA, which could have led to a life sentence. He was remanded to jail at Rikers Island in New York City pending his sentencing hearing on March 11th, when he was sentenced to 23 years in prison. He was then transferred to Wenda Correctional Facility in Erie County, New York. He stated through his attorneys that he would appeal the verdict. Weinstein was stripped of his honorary CBE, Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, on September 18, 2020. On June 2, 2022, the New York State Supreme Court, Appellate Division, First Department upheld the verdicts and judgment on appeal. For the court's decision, Judge Angela Mazzarelli wrote, "We perceive no basis for reducing the sentence, and we have considered defendants' remaining arguments and find them unavailing." On August 25, 2022, he was granted a further appeal before the New York Court of Appeals. On July 20, 2021, Weinstein was flown to Los Angeles and taken to the Twin Towers Correctional Facility. The trial in Los Angeles commenced in October 2022. Weinstein was charged with 11 counts of R, forcible oral copulation, and SEX battery, stemming from alleged acts between 2004 and 2013. He was found guilty of 3 of 7 charges. 4 of the initial 11 charges were dropped. On December 19, 2022, convictions included charges of R, forced oral copulation, and 3rd-degree misconduct. On February 23, 2023, Weinstein was sentenced to 16 years in prison for these convictions. His sentence in California prisons must be served separately from, consecutively to rather than concurrently to, his time served in New York. Can you believe it? With all the crazy stuff about Weinstein, you'd figure someone as big shot as OPR would be steering way clear, right? But get this, according to TMZ, Weinstein spilled the beans, saying OPR pushed him to defend himself publicly. Now that's raising some eyebrows. Was OPR actually riding shotgun with Weinstein against all these women? Hold up though, Oprah's camp hit back saying they never had a direct chat, and she was just thinking about a TV interview. And check this out, during her Golden Globe speech, OPR zipped it on the Weinstein talk. But in other moments, she's been clear that this whole cultural shift isn't just about Weinstein, it's way bigger. Oprah's playing chess while the rest of us are just figuring out checkers. Alright, Oprah's like the heavyweight champ of the industry, no doubt. Sure, there are these rumors flying around, but come on, you can't ignore the impact she's made. Let's dive into the OPR saga, shall we? Working in local media, Winfrey was both the youngest news anchor and the first Black female news anchor at Nashville's WLAC TV, now WTVF-TV, where she often covered the same stories as John Tesh, who worked at a competing Nashville station. In 1976, she moved to Baltimore's WJZ-TV to co-anchor the 6 o'clock news. In 1977, she was removed as co-anchor and worked in lower-profile positions at the station. She was was then recruited to join Richard Scheer as co-host of WJZ's local talk show, People Are Talking, which premiered on August 14, 1978. She also hosted the local version of Dialing for Dollars. In 1984, Winfrey relocated to Chicago to host WLS-TV's low-rated half-hour morning talk show, AM Chicago, after being hired by that station's general manager, Dennis Swanson. The first episode aired on January 2, 1984. Within months after Winfrey took over, the show went from last place in the ratings to overtaking Donahue as the highest-rated talk show in Chicago. The movie critic Roger Ebert persuaded her to sign a syndication deal with King World. Ebert predicted that she would generate 40 times as much revenue as his television show, At the Movies. It was then renamed The OPR Winfrey Show and expanded to a full hour. The first episode was broadcast nationwide on September 8, 1986. Winfrey's syndicated show brought in double Donahue's national audience, displacing Donahue as the #1 daytime talk show in America. Their much-publicized contest was the subject of enormous scrutiny. According to Time magazine in August 1988, few people would have bet on OPR Winfrey's swift rise to host of the most popular talk show on TV. In a field dominated by white males, she is a black female of ample bulk. As interviewers go, she is no match for, say, Phil Donahue. What she lacks in journalistic toughness, she makes up for in plain-spoken curiosity, robust humor, and, above all, empathy. Guests with sad stories to tell are apt to rouse a tear in Oprah's eye. They, in turn, often find themselves revealing things they would not imagine telling anyone, much less a national TV audience. It is the talk show as a group therapy session. In the early years of the OPR Winfrey Show, the program was classified as a tabloid talk show. In the mid-1990s, Winfrey began to host shows on broader topics such as heart disease, geopolitics, spirituality, and meditation. She interviewed celebrities on social issues they were directly involved with, such as cancer, charity work, or substance abuse, and hosted televised giveaways. The later years of the show faced accusations that Winfrey was promoting junk science. This is manifested as criticisms of Winfrey for promoting particular guests whose medical commentaries, both on her show and in the wider media, frequently lack supporting science. The series finale of the OPR Winfrey Show aired on May 25, 2011. In 1993, Winfrey hosted a rare primetime interview called Michael Jackson Talks to OPR with Michael Jackson, which became the fourth most-watched event in American television history, as well as the most-watched interview ever, with an audience of 36.5 million. On December 1, 2005, Winfrey appeared on The Late Show with David Letterman for the first time in 16 years, to promote the new Broadway musical, The Color Purple, which she produced. The episode was hailed by some as the television event of the decade and helped Letterman attract his largest audience in more than 11 years, 13.45 million viewers. Although a much-rumored feud was said to have been the cause of the rift, both Winfrey and Letterman balked at such talk. "I want you to know, it's really over. Whatever you thought was happening," said Winfrey. On September 10, 2007, Letterman made his first appearance on the OPR Winfrey Show, as its season premiere was filmed in New York City. In 2006, rappers Ludacris, 50 Cent, and Ice Cube criticized Winfrey for what they perceived as an anti-hip-hop bias. In an interview with GQ magazine, Ludacris said that Winfrey gave him a hard time about his lyrics and edited comments he made during an appearance on her show with the cast of the film Crash. He also said that he wasn't initially invited on the show with the rest of the cast. Winfrey responded by saying that she is opposed to rap lyrics that marginalize women, but enjoys some artists, including Kanye West, who appeared on her show. She said she spoke with Ludacris backstage after his appearance to explain her position, and said she understood that his music was for entertainment purposes, but that some of his listeners might take it literally. In 2009, Winfrey was criticized for allowing actress Suzanne Summers to appear on her show to discuss hormone treatments that are not accepted by mainstream medicine. Critics have also suggested that Winfrey is not tough enough when questioning celebrity guests or politicians whom she appears to like. Lisa DeMarais, a media columnist for The Washington Post, stated, "OPR doesn't do follow-up questions unless you're an author who's embarrassed her by fabricating portions of a supposed memoir she's plugged for her book club." In 2021, she conducted an interview with Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, and her husband Prince Harry, which was broadcast globally and received international media attention. Winfrey has co-authored 5 books. At the announcement of a weight loss book in 2005, co-authored with her personal trainer Bob Greene, it was said that her undisclosed advance fee had broken the record for the world's highest book advance fee, previously held by the autobiography of former U.S. President Bill Clinton. Winfrey's company created the OPR.com website to provide resources and interactive content related to her shows, magazines, book club, and public charity. OPR.com averages more than 70 million page views and more than 6 million users per month, and receives approximately 20,000 emails each week. Winfrey initiated OPR Child Predator Watch List through her show and website to help track down accused child molesters. Within the first 48 hours, 2 of the featured men were captured. Winfrey was called arguably the world's most powerful woman by CNN and Time, arguably the most influential woman in the world by the American Spectator, one of the 100 people who most influenced the 20th century, and one of the most influential people from 2004 to 2011 by Time. Winfrey is the only person to have appeared in the latter list on 10 occasions. At the end of the 20th century, Life listed Winfrey as both the most influential woman and the most influential Black person of her generation, and in a cover story profile, the magazine called her America's most powerful woman. In 2007, USA Today ranked Winfrey as the most influential woman and most influential Black person of the previous quarter century. Ladies' Home Journal also ranked Winfrey #1 in their list of the most powerful women in America, and then Senator Barack Obama in 2007 said she may be the most influential woman in the country. In 1998, Winfrey became the first woman and first African American to top Entertainment Weekly's list of the 101 most powerful people in the entertainment industry. Forbes named her the world's most powerful celebrity in 2005, 2007, 2008, 2010, and 2013. Yeah, Oprah has got this laundry list of achievements that's enough to make your head spin. I mean, she's basically conquered the world, right? But here's where it gets kind of wild. With all the amazing stuff she's done, it's hard to wrap your head around the idea that she might be into some shady business. Her link with Weinstein, the whole Jamie Foxx situation, and rumors swirling around Quincy Jones's place. It's a lot to take in. Makes you wonder, is this something she's been pulling off under the radar for a while? Some folks out there are even tossing around the idea that OPR is all about the money, ready to do whatever it takes to fill her pockets. Well, folks, it's a head scratcher, isn't it? Is this the curtain call for OPR, or is she going to wiggle out of this one like she's done before? Drop your thoughts down below, and let's keep the conversation rolling. We'll catch you in the next video.